Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. This is Shaila Akhtar, Assistant Professor English. This class is prepared for the students of Honours First Year. The topic of our today's class is practicing how to answer questions from Part C, a general discussion from the course English Reading Skills. My dear students, before starting to practice how to answer questions, we have to have some basic ideas. So let's get introduced to some basic ideas, and summary is the first of them. So let's know what is summary and how to summarize a specific text or a poem. While talking about part C from English reading skills, you have to answer 5 questions of 10 marks. So you have to answer questions keeping in mind that how long the answer should be, and summary is one of them. You may have questions like that. Make a summary of this poem or of this text. So let's know what is summary and how to summarize a text. A summary is a shortened version of a text that contains only the key information. So it is the shortened version of a text and it is known as synopsis. The aim of summary writing is to present readers with a short, clear account of the ideas in the text. So, while writing a summary, the writer sums up the plot. That means he only narrates what happens in a shorter form. But writing accurate summaries needs accurate comprehension of the passage or any poem. So while writing summaries, only the key information should be highlighted, and citing examples, quotations, information in brackets, repetitions, figures of speeches and statistics should be omitted. The information should be presented in the writer's own words, and the length of the summary depends on the extent of the original passage. In an examination, the length of the summary varies, but it is usually up to 100 words. The summary will be objective. The writer should avoid giving his personal opinions in summary. Now, theme. The theme of a work is not its subject, its central ideas, which may be stated directly or in an implied form. The theme of a story is whatever general idea or insight the entire story reveals. It doesn't mean the events narrated in the story or any poem. It refers to the elements in the story besides what happens in it. In many a fine story, theme is the center, the moving force or the principle of unity. And the writers will more or less focus on the same events while writing a summary, but regarding themes, the readers view the themes from different perspectives. It is interesting to note that while there will be only a single summary of a story or text, there may be more than one theme in a story or any text. And if we want to give an example, there is a very famous play by William Shakespeare named as Othello. The theme of this very play, Othello, is jealousy. Now, the next point, position of the author in a poem. Author's position is the situation or condition in which the poet exists. Their position includes their beliefs, disbeliefs, biasness, disinterest, and assumption of them. It is related to the speaker's attitude towards his subject and towards his audience, and sometimes towards himself. A poem is a little drama. It is an utterance, and there is someone in the poem who utters. There is a provocation to utterance, and there is an expected audience too. The audience may be shadowy, not specified. The speaker might be talking to himself. So the speaker, not the poet, speaks to an audience or some audiences. Many poems may begin with the I speaker, but this I speaker is not necessarily the poet himself. Rather, it is a fictitious character that gets an imaginative identification. If the poet deals with some universal theme, the poem is objective, and in subjective writing, the author incorporates personal experiences. The next point, tone of a poem. Tone means the attitude the poet takes towards a theme or a subject. Like the manner of a person, the manner of a poem may be friendly or hostile towards its readers. The tone of a poem may tell one how the speaker feels about himself or herself, humble or sad or glad. The tone of a poem may also be affectionate or hostile or sarcastic, ironic, sympathetic, melancholic, nostalgic, revolutionary, advisory, pleasant, joyful, serious, etc. Next point, rhyme scheme. Rhyme means a word that has the same sound. Making it a little bit elaborate, we can say rhyme means a word that has the same sound or ends with the same sound as another word. It means the recurrence of similar sounds in the closing syllables of different verses, and rhymes are used in short poem in which the last word in the line has the same sound as the last word in another line, especially the next one. Rhyme is used in poems to produce sounds that appeal to the ear and to unify and establish a poem's stanzaic form. There are many types of rhymes such as end rhyme, internal rhyme, masculine rhyme, feminine rhyme, and trisyllabic rhyme. Now let's see what is the end rhyme. Rhyme used at the end of a line to echo the end of another line is most common in poetry. In end rhyme, the first line is usually marked as A, and the later lines that have similar sounds like the first line are also A. The line that appears after A with a different sound is usually marked as B, and the other later lines that rhyme with the B are also termed as B. Now let's see the example. It will help you to clarify your ideas. The first line here, the curfew tolls the knell of parting day. Here the very sound day and at the last of the sentence, and this sentence will be marked as A. Now the next sentence, the lowing hard wind slowly over the lea. Now this line will be marked as B. Now the third sentence, the ploughman homeward plods his weary way. And like the first sentence, day, now the last word is way. So here we have the similar sound. So this third sentence will be marked as A. Now the fourth sentence, and leaves the world to darkness and to me. As the second sentence, here we have the very word at the last of the line, that is Lee, and the ending word of the fourth sentence is me, which sounds similarly. So the fourth sentence will be also marked as B. Now the masculine or single rhyme. In this kind of rhyme, only the last syllables of the verses have a resemblance in sound. Try to keep in mind that we are talking about the last syllable, not the last word of the sentence, rather the last syllable of the verses. So let's see the example here. We have a given example, that is, a lovely gift with a lovely cover to you I sent, uncovered the box and minutely you all invent. So here the very ending syllable or word of the first sentence is sent, but the ending syllable of the second sentence is went, where the word is invent. But according to the definition, the last syllables of the verses have a resemblance in sounds, that is sent and went. So this is masculine or single rhyme. Now the next one, feminine or double rhyme. So in this type of rhyme, the last two syllables of the verses rhyme with each other. The last two syllables. So let's see the example again. I want to buy you, not to borrow. Be of mine and to you good morrow. Here in the same word of the two sentences contain two syllables, and the last two syllables match each other or rhyme with each other. Here the first one, that means borrow, it is the last word of the first sentence, and the two syllables are bow and row. In the same way, the second word, that is morrow, it is the last word of the second sentence and it has two syllables also, that is morrow. And this borrow and morrow rhyme with each other. Now the next point, stanza. Many poems are divided into regular sections or divisions. And stanzas are the regular sections of a poem. A stanza may form with 2, 3 or 4 sentences, and the Combinations of the lines that form the divisions are called stanzas, and there are many types of divisions such as couplet, triplet, quatrain, quintet, sextet, septet, octet, nonet, etc. So let's get some introductory information about these divisions. So first, couplet. A couplet forms with two sentences that rhyme together, and a triplet forms with three lines that have consecutive rhyme. And now quatrain, group of four verses that rhyme together. Now comes quintet, groups of five verses rhyming in various combinations are called quintets. Now 16, it is a stanza of 6 lines which called 16. Now septet, and you have to keep in mind, and we are going to give some information about septet. That is, septet is known as royal rhyme also, or rhyme royal, and it is also known as Chaucerian stanza. The rhyme royal stanza consists of 7 lines, usually in iambic pentameter. The rhyme scheme is A, B, A, B, B, C, C. And Chaucer was the first to introduce rhyme royal in his long poem Troilus and Cressida. James I of Scotland used rhyme royal for his Chaucerian poem, the King's Quair, and it is believed that the name of the stanza derives from this royal use. Now the octet or triplet, it consists of 8 lines having various rhyme schemes. One such form is Ottava rima, that is written in iambic pentameter, and the next one is nonet. Nonet consists of 9 lines having various combinations of rhymes, and one such form is the Spenserian stanza, named after Edmund Spenser. And stanzas of 10 or more lines are known as made-up stanzas. Now, stress or accent. Stress means putting a greater amount of force on one syllable in speaking than on another. Where the accent comes depends on how the reader wishes to render the sense. We pronounce a stressed syllable with a little more breath and emphasis, with the result that it comes out slightly louder, higher in pitch, or longer in duration than other syllables. The stress or accent is marked by a slanting stroke mark on the vowel, because a syllable contains only one vowel sound, no matter how many vowels may go with it. If there are 2 vowels side by side in a single syllable, usually the first vowel is stressed, but sometimes the pronunciation fixes where the stress should be put. And the syllable of a foot are not always equally given stress. The tendency to keep a syllable under no stress is known as unstress or unaccent. The syllables that receive no stress are known as unaccented or unstressed syllables, and the unstressed syllable might be kept under no sign or may be marked by a half U. Now, Meter or foot. Meter is the arrangement of strong and weak stresses in the lines of poetry that produces the rhythm. Each meter is also known as foot. The most common meters used in English verses are iambic, trochaic, anapaestic, dactylic, spondaic, pyric, catalectic, and hypermetrical. So let's have some introductory ideas about them. Iambic first. This foot or meter consists of an unaccented syllable followed by an accented syllable. Then trochaic. This foot or meter consists of an accented syllable followed by an unaccented syllable, just opposite to the iambic. Then anapaestic. This foot consists of two unaccented syllables followed by an accented one. And then dactylic. This foot consists of one accented syllable followed by two unaccented syllables. Now spondaic. This spondaic foot consists of two accented syllables. And now pyric. This foot consists of two unaccented syllables. This is also just opposite to spondaic. Then catalectic. It refers to an imperfect foot, the catalectic one. And this imperfect foot consists of one accented syllable only. It is used at the end of a disyllabic or trisyllabic foot. It requires one or two unaccented syllables after the accented one to make a complete foot. In spite of its imperfection, it is treated as a full foot. The catalectic foot is also known as truncated foot. And now hypermetrical. Hypermetrical foot refers to a line that has one or two unaccented syllables at its end. Iambs and anapaests are called rising meter because the strong stress is at the end. On the contrary, trochees and dactyls are called falling meter because the strong stress is at the beginning. And it may be convenient to mention the various lines according to the use of accented syllables or foots in a line. When only one foot is used in a sentence or a verse of a poem, it will be known as monometer. And when the line will be formed with 2 feet, it will be known as dimeter. In the same way, when the line forms with 3 feet, it will be known as trimeter. And when the sentence is formed with 4 feet, it will be known as tetrameter. And the sentence of 5 feet will be known as pentameter. And now the hexameter, a sentence of 6 feet. It is also known as Alexandrine, and there is another feet, that is a sentence of 7 feet, and it is known as heptameter. So my dear students, I am going to end our today's class here. we will be together with another class very soon. Till then, stay home, stay safe, and let's pray for each other. Till then, goodbye. Thank you.